To be a part of The Link Show today, head over to linkkids.com.au/live. On this page, you can get a shout out. You can be a part of today's live vote. You can send in a prayer request, and a little later on, you can be a part of our Bible quiz Kahoot. Back to the studio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Link Show. As you can see, our Christmas set is increasing. We've been doing some crafts for some of the younger kids that are watching The Link Show. Hey, if you actually want to do some of these crafts, I'm going to put the PDFs for these up on the live or the school page. You can download these over the holidays, have a crack at them if you want to, totally fine. And if you do, get mum or dad to email us a copy. But let's jump into The Link Show. Cece.
Hi.
How many Christmas outfits do you own?
I'm not telling you.
This is a little bit ridiculous.
It's awesome.
Do you want to know how many I own? 0.
That is sad.
No,
that
it's
is
not.
Grinch.
No, that's what the tree is for.
No,
the tree is meant to
Grinch.
get decorated, not you.
I am the tree.
You see, okay, we have a would you rather already lined up for today, but I feel
Yes.
like it needs to be what should you decorate, the tree or you?
Me.
But
The answer is me.
oh dear. Okay, we'll do that in the shout-outs. I'm getting distracted. Can you tell we're at the end of the term? Everything is falling
We're
apart.
done.
It's amazing.
We're done.
Oh, but it's been so much fun.
So
though.
much fun. I want these to be more.
I know, I can't wait. And we're going to have more people on the Link Show next year. We have some really cool, exciting announcements to let you know about. But hey, let's jump into the actual Would You Rather,
Okay, I'm ready.
which is, should we decorate CC or no jokes? I'm jokes. That's not it. That's not it. The real one is this. How would you prefer to spend Christmas? Because like in Australia, Christmas is summer.
Yes.
But there's the song, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So if you could choose, would you prefer to spend Christmas in Australia, summer Christmas at the beach, swimming with your friends, or in the snow, going skiing, having hot chocolates? What would you choose?
Well, with my jumper right now, I wouldn't mind it being a little bit colder.
I can crank the aircon on and get some fake snow. It'd be great. We should do that for next year's Christmas series, have fake snow. All right, I'm going to send that to my producer for next year. That's a great... We're getting distracted.
However, I am a Queensland girl through and through. I need the beach. I need ice cream. I
Really?
need prawns. I need a hot Christmas.
See, I am a Queensland born and bred, but I prefer the cold. I love the cold. I love getting rigged up. So I'm going to pick a white Christmas. I can't ski. I'm not going to... I tried that once. It hurt. But, you know, hot chocolates and campfire and Christmas stories.
It's a nice picture in my mind, but what happens when you get snowed in? What happens when you get sick? Because you get sick when it's cold.
Play Minecraft and Roblox.
Nah.
Okay, we want to hear from you. We need to hear what you think. So the way you can be a part of the live vote as well as everything else on the Link Show is by doing this.
To be a part of The Link Show today, head over to linkkids.com.au/live. On this page, you can get a shout out. You can be a part of today's live vote. You can send in a prayer request, and a little later on, you can be a part of our Bible quiz Kahoot. Back to the studio.
Okay, we can't wait to see what the results are. We will check them out in a sec. But hey, let's go check out Preach Part 1. I'm here with Isla, and we have got ourselves our adventure guidebook. So this week, we're going to follow the directions and see if we can't earn ourselves some of these amazing stamps in front. So let's read some of the ones that we've already done. Feeding the animals, we did that last week. We've already got our Feed the Animal stamp. Milk the Cow, we did that last week. We haven't done Make a Mud Pie. We might have to do that soon. Create a bush art masterpiece. That could be fun. Play the campfire story game. Maybe we'll do that later on. Do a treasure hunt. This sounds fun. Find the animal characters. There's collect an egg. There's a whole heap here. Oh, conquer the water slide. We've already got that stamp. We did that one last week as well. Have we got that? There it is. Conquered the water slide. Milked the cow. Wait, I fed a cow and touched its tongue. That's disgusting. So we're going to do a few more of these, see if we can't earn ourselves a few more stamps. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Isla, you ready to earn your Feed the Cows and Touch Their Tongue award? Yep, you got to touch their tongue. So she has to let the cow lick this off her hand. Come on.
90 or 70.
Oh, yuck, it touched my tongue. Look at the saliva, look at the dribble. Hand out. Hand out. All right, let's have a look, Isla, and see which one we're going to do next.
Because we just fed a cow.
I fed a cow and touched its tongue.
There is this random thing.
We have a few goats that have come and joined the party. We have a goat problem. We're going to move on.
The chicken man. That's my favorite chicken. Let's go, whatever.
And so we've done pretty good so far. We've got a fair few of our stamps complete. We're going to head back in a minute and actually put our stamps in our book. But following the directions and trying to figure out where we need to go has been a heap of fun. And so today we're continuing our conversation around the Christmas story. Last week we spoke about the shepherds and that they were some of the first people to get to go and see Jesus when he was first born. But today we're going to take a look at the story of the wise men. But first, have you ever had to follow instructions? Maybe it was for a Lego set, maybe your mum and dad bought an IKEA set of furniture that you had to put together and you had to follow the instructions, and just like Isla and I, we had to follow the directions to be able to win over all of these stamps, and if we don't follow the directions properly, you can't finish it properly. I remember once I got a set of Lego and for my son, we're sitting there and we're putting this thing together, and we ripped open one of the bags and all of the Lego went spewing out all over the table and all over the floor. And so we started scrambling around to find all the pieces that had been spilled, and we're on the carpet trying to find all the pieces. We thought we got it all, put it on the table, started following the instructions, and we got right towards the end of putting the Lego together when we realized one piece was missing. And if we didn't have that piece, we couldn't use the Lego the way it was designed. It couldn't do what it was made to do. And so we spent ages and ages back on the floor trying to find this piece, and after about 10 minutes of searching, it was a little grey piece. It turns out it had fallen into one of our grey rugs, and we found it. You see, when you don't have all the pieces and when you don't have the instructions, it's hard to figure out what something is made for. But when you know what something's made for, it's easy to use it properly. It's like if I need to put in a nail, I would use a hammer. If I need to screw in a screw, I would use a screwdriver. Everything has a purpose and it has something that it was made to do. And so today, a little later on, we're going to look at the story of the wise men. But even more than that, we're going to look at what you and I were made by God to do so that we can do it to the best of our ability. But I feel like first, I want to go and re-earn my giant water slide badge. Be back soon. Welcome back, everybody. We need to hear all of your shout outs in Link Kids inbox. Let's go see what you've said in the last week.
Okay, let's read your shout outs in Link Kids inbox. Emma is saying, can you try mixing candy canes with different types of food? So Vegemite or honey soup. I reckon we could do a controversial food combinations episode that is Christmas edition. So we mix all different Christmas foods. I like that idea. I'm going to add that to the list for next year. Harris is saying, hello. Nice to have you with us as well. Summer is saying, it's almost Christmas. And then we've got some Christmas emojis. I'm pumped for Christmas. Someone here is saying, we are going to the beach for Christmas. We're going to be camping in tents. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I do love going camping as well. It's good fun. Someone else here is saying, I definitely prefer gingerbread. We like making the gingerbread houses as a family. I love doing that. We will be doing that as a family as well. Hey, if you make some cool gingerbread houses, why not get mum and dad to email us a copy and we'll put a picture of it in the future episode of Link Show. Someone here is saying, candy canes all the way. They are my favorite food. Plus, I love giving them to all of my friends at the end of school. We used to do that as well. We used to get the cards and put candy canes and give them to all our friends in our class. If you do that, that's cool as well. Someone here is saying, can you try to melt candy canes into a sandwich? Oh, that just sounds like a sugar sandwich, but it sounds amazing. I do love my sugar. And lastly, let's rapid fire a few names. We've got Matthew, Daniel, Noah, Calvin, Ryan, Charlie, Talon, Charlotte, Ren, Indy, and Samal. Keep sending your shout outs through. We love them every single week.
We love all your shout outs every single week in the Link Kids inbox, but right now we're going to jump to today's animated Bible story.
Say hello to Jesus, the Son of God, the Savior of the world. And when Jesus was born, he was born in a barn, wrapped in cloth and laid in a manger. Jesus was born in a town called Bethlehem, in a land called Judea. Now, the ruler of this land was a man named Herod, and he was in another city called Jerusalem. But while he was there, some wise men who had traveled from the east came to him and said, where is the newborn king, the one who will be the king of the Jews? We saw his star in the sky, and so we've come to worship him. But when Herod heard that there was a new king born in Judea, he became angry. Herod gathered all of the important Jewish leaders and priests and asked them, where is this king meant to be born? They replied, We've always been told that the new king would be born in Bethlehem. And so Herod came up with a plan to trick the wise men to find out where Jesus was. He called the wise men into a private meeting and said, "Go to Bethlehem, search for the new king, and when you find him, come back and tell me where he is so that I can go and worship him too." But secretly, Herod wanted to go to Bethlehem to get rid of Jesus. And so the wise men traveled from Jerusalem to Bethlehem, and in the sky, the star that they had seen led the way, and it stopped over the house where Jesus was staying. They went inside and saw Mary and baby Jesus. They knelt down and worshipped him. They gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Later on, while they were sleeping, God spoke to them in a dream about Herod and told them to travel home via a different road. And so that's what they did. An angel also appeared to Joseph in a dream. The angel warned him that Herod wanted to hurt Jesus and said, "Get up and take your family to Egypt. Stay there until Herod is no longer king." And so that very night, Joseph, Mary, and Jesus traveled to Egypt. They stayed there until Herod was no longer king and then traveled back to Judea. Then an angel warned them that because of the new king, Herod's son, it wasn't safe for them to go back to Bethlehem. So instead, they made their home in a place called Galilee. And this is where Jesus grew up to become a man.
We may think of worship as singing the slow songs at church, or maybe showing love or adoration to God, but worship is so much more than that. This word worship in the Bible literally means they bowed down. They would have gotten on the floor, they would have bowed before Jesus, and this act showed that they were placing themselves lower and underneath the authority of Jesus. That's what this word worship means. It's when we say, "You, Jesus, are more important, you're more supreme, you're bigger, you're greater than I am, and so I lower myself under you and I submit myself to your authority." And so today, let's take a look at what it is to worship Jesus and why it's important to worship Jesus above all else. You see, all worship is, it's saying that that thing or that person is more important than you are. We can worship all sorts of things in our lives. We can worship sport and say it's more important than we are. We can worship technology and say it's more important than we are. Back in Jesus' time, they would worship idols made of wood or stone and say that that thing or object has authority over their lives. They would do what they felt like that thing wanted them to do. Even though we may not worship idols in that sense, it's still easy for us to fall into the trap of letting something else be more important in our lives than Jesus. And so let's take a look at what the Bible says. I love in Philippians 2, it says that we should think of ourselves the same way that Jesus thought of himself, that he put aside the fact that he was the Son of God, he humbled himself, made himself less so that he could come as a human baby and be the servant of all. And this Christmas, why don't we make a decision to do the same? Let's not think of ourselves as super important and make everything about us, but why don't we make this all about Jesus? Let's put him at the center of our lives this Christmas. Let's worship him. Let's make him the most important person in our lives and choose to live our lives his way. You see, God wants you to have the most amazing, full life, but the way we do that is by not living selfishly, not living for ourselves, but in worship. And this Christmas, why don't we make a decision to make Jesus the most important person in our lives and choose to live our lives for him.
It's now time for this week's Bible Quiz Kahoot. Go across and click on the Kahoot tab, spin the wheel, get yourself a username, one that you like. You're allowed to spin it 3 times total. If you don't like the name you get the first time, click OK. It'll take you through to the waiting page and wait here until we tell you to start. Press next in 3, 2, 1, here we go. First question. Where did the wise men come from? Did they come from the north, the east, the south, or the west? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is they came from the east. Next question. What was the name of the evil king? Was he King Herod? Was he King Harold? Was he King Harvey? Or was he King Homer? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is King Herod. Next question. How did the wise men find Jesus? Did they follow the sun? Did they follow a guide? Did they follow a star? Or did they follow a map? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is they followed a star. Next question. Multiple choices. Which of these did the wise men give to Jesus as a gift? Did they give gold, frankincense, silver, or myrrh? Remember, you can select more than one. You've got 10 seconds. The answers are gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Last question. What did the angel tell the wise men? Did the angel say to go back to Herod, to go home a different way, to go to Jerusalem, or to stay in Bethlehem? You've got 10 seconds. The answer is to go home a different way.
Okay, so we're just about done for our school series, but like we said over the last few weeks, the Link Show isn't stopping. We are continuing through the holidays all the way till next year. It doesn't stop. But if you want to watch it, head over to linkkids.com.au/school or /live, whatever page you use to interact with. There'll be a link at the top. Plus, there might be some links to some sneaky gaming live streams as well as some other things we're working on. But hey, I'm Buckle.
And I'm Cece.
And we will see you next time on The Link Show. See you later.